Peppa's playful prank on George is so much fun. Today, George are playing in the living room. Then, Peppa comes along. They both say hello, and George continues playing. Suddenly, the dinosaur toy falls down, and then it disappears. George doesn't know what happened. And George starts searching for it. Peppa gives a very sneaky little laugh. George goes to the playroom, but still can't find anything. He continues to the tool room to keep searching. But he still can't find it, and George feels disappointed and walks away. Out in the front yard, George runs over and tells Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig that his toy is missing.
Huh?
And then Peppa appears, and Peppa takes out the dinosaur toy. Peppa jumps out and gives it to George. George and his family are happy again. Today is truly a wonderful day for all of us. George the hero and his brave actions. Peppa is playing with her toys in the living room. Then Super George arrives. They both say hello to each other. George sees a candy on the table, runs over and grabs it. Peppa takes a nibble and suddenly feels a superpower. But from Peppa's point of view, nothing happens. And George starts acting very strangely. George runs around the room and then rushes off, leaving Peppa confused. He runs into Daddy Pig's room, where Daddy Pig is reading a newspaper. They greet each other. Then George runs over and lifts the table with incredible strength. Daddy Pig looks confused, and then George runs off again. He arrives in front of the house, where Mummy Pig is waiting because the toy dinosaur is stuck in the tree. George runs over and shouts, "George is here! Dinosaur! Dinosaur!" George uses all his strength, jumps really high, and grabs the toy dinosaur. Oh yeah, Mummy Pig is happy again. And the whole family is happy again. Today is such a wonderful and exciting day. George's silly prank causes trouble for the family. Today, Peppa is happily playing with her balloon. Suddenly, the balloon starts floating and doesn't fall down, and Peppa doesn't know what is happening. Daddy Pig is running very fast through the forest. Then he suddenly stops and realizes that he is floating in the air. Then he slowly comes back down, and Daddy Pig continues on his way. And the same thing happens to Mommy Pig too. Suddenly, the cakes start floating high up into the sky. Then they gently float back down, and Mommy Pig doesn't understand what is going on. The whole family gathers together in the front yard. She presses it, and suddenly, Daddy Pig starts floating up into the air. Oh no! The whole family is confused, and Peppa gets angry and runs after George. George runs quickly and drops the controller. Peppa grabs it and presses the button, and Daddy Pig returns to normal. Oh yeah, the whole family is happy again. George comes back with a guilty face and happily joins everyone. Today is such a wonderful day. Peppa and George's magical paintbrush adventure. Peppa and George are playing happily in the toy room when suddenly they hear a strange noise. Suddenly, the paintbrush jumps up and flies away. Peppa and George quickly look at each other, chatting excitedly, then rush off to chase it. The magic paintbrush flies to the front of Peppa's house and suddenly drops to the ground. Just in time, Peppa and George run up to it. They both don't know what to do. When suddenly, George gets an idea. George runs off and soon comes back carrying a picture frame. They both smile happily as the magic paintbrush begins to draw smoothly and masterfully. And soon it finishes a beautiful painting. They both feel so happy and think this is one of the happiest days ever. What a fun and unforgettable day it has been. Peppa Pig and George's outdoor learning day with Mummy Pig. Let's start our very first lesson by counting numbers. What is 2 plus 3? Huh? George says it's 4. Peppa says it's 5. And Peppa is right. It's 5. Ha! Huh? Let's move on to the next lesson. Counting butterflies.
Aha!
Peppa takes one. But another one flies by and George says, 2. Ha! And George is right. Well done, George. Everyone walks into the forest.
Aha!
And for the final lesson, let's count the trees. Peppa and George both guessed 3, but that's not correct. There's one more marling tree, so there are 4 trees. Peppa and George are both surprised, but today's lessons were so much fun. Snort, snort. George's trouble and Peppa's quick action. Today, Peppa is reading a book. Then George comes over and says hello. Peppa keeps reading her book, while George seems to have a little plan in mind. He quickly runs to get the milk and drinks it. Oh no! George, get bigger. Peppa comes back and he's shocked. Out of the house, hoping to find a way to fix everything. Let's fix this together. George walks forward as the ground starts to shake and he begins to feel sad. Peppa rushes over just in time and says, "It's okay, George." It turns out to be an ice cream. Peppa hands it to George and he catches it, happily enjoying the ice cream. Yeah, George is back to normal. Today is a very happy day. It's truly a magical and unforgettable day. 2 Peppas appear, a surprising moment for George. Peppa walks into the room and happily says, "Hello, George." George is playing with his toys and smiles, saying, "Hello, Peppa." Suddenly, another Peppa appears and cheerfully says, "Hello, George." And this makes Peppa feel surprised and confused, wondering what is going on. The room feels warm and cozy, and Peppa is happily enjoying the moment. Peppa 1 walks over slowly. When Peppa 2 arrives, George looks surprised and says, "What's going on?" It seems like something is connecting all three of them, and they happily invite each other to play together. On a moonlit night, George takes out a volleyball. Whoa! George throws the ball. Peppa 1 jumps up and heads the ball. Peppa 2 jumps up and makes an amazing spike. Yeah! Just as the three of them are having fun, something unexpected happens. Peppa 2 gets confused and runs away, but is suddenly pulled back, and both of them disappear. Peppa and George look surprised, but George giggles and says, "Today was fun, wasn't it, Peppa?" Peppa and George's fun basketball day with friends. Peppa and George feel very bored. Peppa has a little idea. George doesn't know anything yet. Friends comes back with a big bouncy basketball and a cheeky smile. Peppa, George and their friend are all very happy. "Let's go play together. Yeah. All three run happily together. They arrive at a big basketball court. A fun challenge begins between Peppa and her friends. Let the game start. Their friend throws the ball skillfully. Whoa! It goes right into the net. Yeah! Now it's Peppa's turn. She throws the ball. It looks right, but oh no! It misses the hoop and bumps into George instead. George looks confused for a moment. Then he decides to make an unforgettable shot. George jumps high, and wow! A spectacular slam dunk! Oh yeah! All three are happy again, laughing. Peppa's hilarious prank on George goes totally out of control. While Peppa was fast asleep, suddenly a giggle came from somewhere. Peppa heard it, jumped out of bed, and went to find out what was going on. George was in the playroom playing happily with his big toy. Peppa saw that and had a cheeky little idea. Peppa found a control box and pressed the on button. Hooray! And then a toy dinosaur came walking out. George was surprised and a little scared at first, but soon he felt happy again and played with the toy dinosaur. Peppa saw that, pressed the off button, and the dinosaur stopped moving. George saw Peppa doing something and started chasing after her. The chase began, full of playful teasing and giggles. Such a happy moment. At the end, George was all tired, while Peppa was still laughing happily. The control box appeared again, and Peppa pressed the on button. The toy dinosaur appeared again and played with George, and everyone was happy together. What a fun and exciting day it was, wasn't it? Peppa and George discover the magical button that changes everything. What's wrong, George? Cheer up! Look, George. I've got a surprise for you. Come and see. What is it, Peppa? Oh wow, a magical red button. What does it do, Peppa? Watch this. This is how it works. And oh, George is shrinking. Haha, they're both happy. And Peppa presses the button again. George goes back to normal. George has an idea. Let's make the toy dinosaur giant. Let's go, George! They've arrived at the room full of cute toy dinosaurs. Go on, Peppa, do it! Peppa presses the button, and boom! The dinosaur grows big. Yeah, they're both so happy, and their wish has finally come true. What a fun, exciting, and memorable day for us, isn't it, Peppa? A fun day of Peppa with a super suction magnet. Today, Peppa looks really sad and has nothing to do. And then George arrives, sees her like that, and something surprising happens.
Hey! Huh?
Peppa is happy again with the super strong magnet.
Yahoo!
It can attract everything, and it's pulling something in. A golf club is being dragged along. And it has been pulled all the way over.
Whoa!
George happily takes out a golf ball, and the two of them start having fun together. The two of them go to the golf course. George places the golf ball down, and Peppa runs over and hits it high into the air. Yeah. The ball rolls down and stops right at the edge of the hole. How disappointing. Suddenly, a gust of wind blows, and the ball drops into the hole. Yeah, they're both so happy. What a fun day it's been for us, right, George?